My next guest believes each child possesses their own extra. And for her daughter, Jayne, that extra shows up in many forms. She not only has an extra chromosome, but her mom, Summer Adamson, believes Jayne has extra joy, extra wonder, extra compassion, and extra intuition. In an effort to share Jayne's story and spark, and to help promote inclusivity and positivity, Summer wrote the darling children's book, A Little Extra Jayne. Summer joins me to share how we can help our kids find their own extra. It is so lovely to meet you. This book is lovely. You've got to be so proud.
Thank you. I'm so proud of it. I'm so excited to be here too. So thank you for having me.
What does Jayne think about having her name in a headline?
Oh my goodness, she loves it. She loves it. It's so fun for her to be able to, she looks through the book and she'll see the pictures and be like, oh my goodness. And she just smiles. And I love this page because every page in this book was inspired by a story about her and her life.
Did you seek her particular buy-in or weigh-in with certain verbiage or phrasing? I mean, it was inspired by her.
Yes, it was inspired by her and just things that she would do that stuck out to us, where she brought magic and joy into our family.
Yeah.
So, but she loves it.
Well, you share all of Jayne's adventures, not just in the pages of this beautiful book, but you share on Instagram as well at A Little Extra Jayne, Jayne. And the account has more than 150,000 followers, but many of your videos have millions of views, which is, I often say, we underestimate counts and numbers, but when you think 1, 2, 3 people watching, millions of people watching her sweet story, why do you think people are so drawn and inspired by your daughter?
Honestly, I think because she makes people happy. Jayne feels so deeply, and when she's excited, you know it. And when you see the joy that she has, her wonder when she sees something new, and excitement for life, and the gratitude that she has for the littlest things, it makes people happy. I think it inspires them to try and see the world with the same eyes and feel that joy. And I think also because for any parents that have just received a diagnosis, maybe for their child, or who just have a child with special needs or who need extra help, it helps them to know that yes, my child's life may look different than I expected it to be, but it can still be beautiful. It can still be full. They can still have opportunities. They can still share goodness and light and be able to find their unique talents.
And I imagine as a woman, as a mom, that's a balance you have to constantly navigate, right? The challenges that do come from special needs. But you describe, the unique joy and happiness that she brings. That probably refreshes your motherhood lens daily.
Yes.
To see it through her way and through her eyes.
It really does. It's helped me to really, really enjoy the small, simple things and to appreciate every little milestone and every little victory and just the little things that I think we often take for granted in life with all of our kids and with ourselves.
In the author's note of this children's book, A Little Extra Jayne, you wrote this: whether a child is neurodivergent or neurotypical, has a diagnosis or does not, each child has different talents, interests, and abilities, and each child deserves an opportunity to reach their own potential and share their extra with the world. Maybe Jayne's extra, I don't know, through her situation might be a little bit more visible, but Summer, what would be your advice to other moms out there trying to find the extra in hopes of building up their own kids as you have Jayne?
I think just exposing your child to many different opportunities and interests, whether, like you said, for some it's more visible. It might be sports or the arts or, science. But I think there are those other things that children that have extra that a little more less visible. Some children are intuitively kind and good at including others. They're really good at reaching out. They're really good at helping people. And I think just pointing those things out to our kids too, and not just, those big moments where they may have scored the goal. Those are awesome, and we want to celebrate those moments too. But oh my goodness, I noticed how you took the time to say hi to that person, or to compliment someone, or invited that friend over. I think pointing out those little things where it's complimenting their character and who they are helps them to shine and know what their extra is in those ways too.
I love that. I have a mom friend who's similar to you, is really good at this, and she has one child in particular whose strengths are a little more internal, a little more inside, and she's done a great job of not just verbalizing as you described, which is so important, but they have an awards night at their house where they celebrate the kindness, you know what I mean? Something physical and something overt that allows those inner characteristics to be celebrated too. So I just appreciate moms like you who are on the lookout, who are doing it. What do you hope parents and kids take away when they read this book?
First, I hope they just find that it's a fun book to read.
It's darling.
It's a sweet, simple story about a little girl going throughout her day and spreading magic wherever she goes, with her family and at school and with friends. And I hope that's the first thing. But honestly, I really hope you don't even know that Jayne has Down syndrome until the author's note. And that was very intentional that we did not include those words in the text, only because I wanted kids, when they read it, to see themselves in the story. And to think, oh, I like to do that, or I do that, or my little brother or little sister does that, or my friend does that. And that way they might think by the end of the story, oh my goodness, Jayne has Down syndrome. We're more alike than we are different.
We are the same. Yeah.
We have so much in common.
Yeah.
And so my hope is then when they see another child or adult that has special needs, or anybody who's different than them, they'll reach out and say, hey, hi, do you want to hang out? Do you want to play? Oh, what do you like to do?
Yeah.
And I think it's important to find that common ground. We all are unique, and we have differences that make us special, and we want to celebrate those things.
So well said.
But we also want to find the common ground.
The commonality. My kids attend, I think I've mentioned this before, but it's a special needs hub. There's a lot of special needs students at the school, and it's been the greatest gift for our family. And our 7-year-old, who is a tender heart, has taught us, he's dropped the word special. And it's just, she has needs. And then everyone has needs. And so it's been this broadening vocabulary in our home that has actually been such a beautiful teacher for all of us. Like, there's no special needs, there's just needs. Yes. And his friend so-and-so has needs that are different than his other friends. You know, and it's just this beautiful inclusion. And I know we're working as a society to be more inclusive. I hope you feel that those steps are in the right direction. Any advice for us on raising more inclusive kids?
You know, I definitely feel that we're going in the right direction. And I love that you said that about needs, because I do think we all have needs. Yeah. Whether we have a diagnosis or not, we all have needs, right? But I think that my biggest piece of advice would be to make the invitation. Reach out. It might require extra effort. It might require maybe having your parent reach out to the parent and saying, hey, how can we make this play date work? Or how can we invite them to this party? Yeah. Does it work? But take the extra effort, make the invite, and assume that they can first.
I love that.
Don't automatically assume they can't. Yeah. Assume they can.
Assume they can.
And then try to make the effort.
You wrote this on your Instagram. It was such sweet perspective. We wanted to highlight this phrasing. If you want to know how to treat someone with special needs, look to their siblings. How are Jayne's siblings the perfect example of the inclusion and the celebration you just described? You
know, Jayne has 2 sisters and a brother. They are the best. They're awesome. They've believed in her since day one and not really seen her as our sister who has Down syndrome. They see her as their sister first. And yes, they give her more compassion, more empathy, and they give her a little extra time, knowing that she takes longer to learn some things. Yeah. But they just see her as their little sister. They tease her, they help her, they play with her, they're silly with her, they do makeup together, you know, they go shopping. So I think seeing everyone as an individual first, and not by a diagnosis.
Yes. Well, your family is a beautiful example of all the characteristics and the values that we've talked about. How does Jayne feel about the book, the attention, the conversation?
She loves it.
She loves it. Okay,
she loves
good.
It.
Don't let her get too big of a head, but she is a star in so many ways, and we appreciate you helping us learn through her and through your family. Where can we get a copy?
At alittleextrajayne.com.
Okay.
And you can follow along on Instagram at @alittleextrajayne with underscores between every word.
We will. Thank you.
Thank you